Hey everyone, and welcome back. If you are new or haven't seen the past episodes of this series, please pause the video and go check out the earlier episodes of this fanfiction. It's no fun jumping right into a series without knowing what's going on. But with that said, let's continue on Chapter 6 of the Celestial Veil. Chapter 6. Absolution. Dante watches in shock as Violet descends the walkway from the cruise ship that brought her to this damned island. The crowd parts for her as if she had some divine power. The gatherings scream her name and she waves back to them all. Dante stands at the end of the divided sea of trainers and onlookers, horror and panic still on his face as she approaches. A lump forms in his throat, and he is brought back to the first time he ever met her at the Palatown Labs. She is even more beautiful now, though. She is dressed for battle, and Dante smiles. She looks at him. She tries to hide her smile, but her eyes betray her. They sparkle with life, seeing her ex. Dante turns and begins walking at a slow pace, and soon Violet is walking beside him. The air is quiet, neither of them wanting to be the first to break the ice. This makes their little walk terrible. So much history and tension between them. Dante just can't take it. "What the hell are you doing here?" he asks quietly. "I could ask you the same thing, Dante," she says coolly. "My agents organized a battle at the tower here. Final stop before I take on the original battlefront here in Hoenn." Dante looks over at her with a sidelong glance. "You have an agent now?" "Yep, I was recruited as a professional battler," she says with a roll of her eyes. "They offered me a six-figure paycheck." "You should never have come here," he sighs. Violet looks over at him, knowing that tone of his voice well. "I figured when I saw you, something bad was going on." "Bad would be putting it mildly. This is..." Dante sighs and looks up at the town of Fogoff, with its imposing black tower looming over the island like a dark sentinel. Violet stops in her tracks and takes Dante by the arm, turning him to face her. She looks at him and demands to know what's going on. "Trainers are going missing here. They all challenged the tower, and it's very possibly linked to a cult here on the island," Dante whispers. The direness in the situation can be heard in his voice. Violet nods. "I want to know more. I can help." Dante's normal, life-filled blue eyes turn dark and cold as he pulls away from her grip. "No. This is too dangerous." "Damn it, Dante, will you just accept help for once? You know I can help you. How many cases did I jump onto with you when we were together?" He knows he needs help on this, but to draw her, of all people, into this nightmare would be wrong. "This is different, Vi. There's something on this island that could bring about a horrible disaster. I don't want you to risk your life. I want you off this island." Violet smirks and walks away towards Fogoff. "Tough. You're getting my help whether you like it or not." She turns back to him with a confident smile on her face. "Now, I want you to bring that case file to my hotel and we can discuss it while we have dinner. I'll see you at 5. She turns back and continues walking, but turns back once more. "Oh, and Dante, shave. You look terrible with a beard." Dante rubs his short beard in shock as Violet walks into Fogoff. He's been hit with so much so fast he isn't even exactly sure what to do. "Dinner?" he says, flabbergasted by her quick actions. "Shave?" He trails off and begins his little journey back to the inn. He moves with a fervor, getting what he needs to clean himself up. He is glad he never emptied his toiletry bag, and it has what he needs. He takes it all into the bathroom and lets the room get steamy as he fills the sink with hot water. Dante looks at himself in the mirror. He doesn't even know who the person looking back is. This isn't him. He takes the old razor his father gave him when he first needed to shave years back and proceeds to remove the beard that has been growing. The man in the mirror is looking more like Dante, but it's still not him. He takes the scissors to his hair next and tries his best as he can. After a half hour of snipping and clipping, Dante knows the man looking back at him. He looks young again. He doesn't look hard or mean. He looks like the Dante from 2 years ago. It's only a few hours later Dante finds himself in front of the hotel near the battle tower. It's no Hotel Resume, but it's better than the inn. The doorman opens the grand door for Dante, and he is shocked to see how grand it is on the inside. As he looks around, one of the staff approach him. "Can I help you, sir?" he asks, a tone of arrogance in his voice. Dante looks down at the small man. "I'm meeting someone here for dinner." "Well, if you are not a guest here, I will have to ask you to leave." Dante cocks his head, wondering if he should just give in to his inner voice screaming to throw this man across the room. "He's with me, my dinner date," Violet says across the room. The staff apologizes and fades back into his work. Dante is lost for words seeing Violet approaching. She is dressed in a well-fitting thigh-high slit black dress with matching heels. Her hair is set just right so it falls in waves down to her waist, and she just has the right amount of makeup on to highlight her natural beauty. She walks up to him with a seductive smile on her face after seeing his initial reaction to her. "Dante," she says, smiling up at him. "Violet," Dante says through rosy cheeks. She slips her arm through his and leads him to the restaurant off to the side of the hotel lobby. Dante can feel his heartbeat picking up pace. He hasn't been this nervous in years, and he doesn't even understand why he's feeling this way. The waiter seats him and opens a complimentary bottle of wine and pours him each a glass. Violet thanks the waiter and takes the glass and sips it. "You cleaned up," she says teasingly. Dante smiles. "And you still look good." He slides the case file that he's been clinging on to across to her. She opens it and scans through each page. Her face turns sour, realizing Dante wasn't joking. "I found some things out that the file didn't say. The cult and the Harbinger crap. Stuff from the ruin walls. I wrote them all down in there. Oh, and all the missing are virgins. The stuff written on the ruins said their blood is needed to wake this UB god." Violet turns a page and continues reading the newer notes Dante added. "Well, I guess you and I are safe then," she says, looking up at him with a half smile. "This town gave me a weird vibe since I got here. Now I know why." "Yeah, half of them wouldn't even talk to me. I found all this shit out thanks to Phillips," Dante says, taking a sip of wine. "Why do you trust him?" she asks. "He's the only one willing to help. He was the one to call Looker to stop this. I trust him." The waiter returns and takes their order. Violet chooses only a salad, and Dante requests the same. "Salad?" she says with a little laughter in her voice. Dante shrugs. Nervous stomach. "Me or the case?" "Both," Dante says, smiling at her. Violet smiles at him. It's been too long since they last saw each other. She was heartbroken when he left her without even a reason. She never knew love. Sure, she had her childhood boyfriend, but what she had with Dante was love. "You know, it's been a while since we sat down and had dinner like this." Dante nods. "Univa was the last time." His voice trails off as he's brought back to that day. Violet realizes what that day was and what happened later that day. He never was the same after that. She instantly regrets bringing that up. That really was the day she lost Dante. Dinner comes and Dante already regrets the salad. He wants to eat more than that. He figures he can go to the pub after and drink with Phillips and eat something less healthy. "I'll talk to Christoph tomorrow, see if I can squeeze anything out of him. While I talk to him, I want you to sneak into his office," Violet says as if the task was easy as breathing. "And how do I get in there?" "I'm having lunch with him for the cameras, discussing our upcoming battle. Do it then." Dante nods. Getting into Christoph's office would give him a chance to search for any clues to where the missing trainers are, if they're even alive. Sounds like a plan. Just watch out for that kid. He's not normal. "I'm used to not normal. I had you after all." Dante smiles and chuckles. "I'm happy for you, by the way. You made it big." "I just wish I had someone to share it with. The road is lonely," she says, looking at him with longing. Dante catches her gaze and loses all focus on his thoughts. All he can think about is how beautiful she is tonight, and how bad he wants to go back and do things differently. He breaks the loving gaze and looks away with shame. They finish their little dinner date in silence, a very painful silence. They leave the restaurant after the salad and wine are gone. They stop in the center of the lobby and confirm the plan for tomorrow. Just as he is about to leave, something in him burns to life. Dante turns around and takes Violet into his arms, and his lips find hers with a passion he never knew he had. He breaks the kiss and looks down into her eyes. "I never stopped loving you," Dante says in a husky whisper. Violet bites her lip and holds him close. "Don't go," she begs. "Stay with me." Dante nods and kisses her again. She takes him by the hand and pulls him into the nearest elevator. After pressing her floor, she assaults him with her lips. She rakes her nails into Dante's chest as she presses him against the wall of the elevator, giving in to the passion that's been building up the past years. Dante keeps his hands on her hips and gives in to her needs. The elevator dings and they continue their passion into the hall and all the way to her room. Dante presses her against the door, letting his hands travel past her hips, following her curves. Violet's breathing quickens as she pulls at Dante's clothes, only stopping to open the door. It swings open and Dante picks up his delicate flower as she wraps her legs around his body. He never breaks their locked lips as he lays her down on the bed and begins to pull her dress up. She gently pushes him up and looks at him smiling. Dante, the door? He looks over at the open door, light flooding the room. Not wanting to give the patrons of the hotel a show of their lovemaking, Dante stands and moves over the door with a wicked grin. He checks the hall first and then shuts the door. And that will be it for that chapter. How is your day going? Not sure if I can comment after that. I just hope you all didn't mind that little scene at the end. I really hope you enjoyed this. I take great pride in my writing and love doing it for you guys. I always appreciate all feedback, both negative and positive, so leave all your thoughts and story in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and share it around. It helps me grow as a channel and I really appreciate it. Follow me on Twitter to know when all my videos go live, as well as to know when I may be doing something special. The link to my Twitter is in the description below and on the front page of my channel. This has been Black Phoenix. Thanks for watching, everyone.